Hi, I'm Lisa. A bit more than a month ago, I started the ketogenic diet, first time in my life, and I decided to follow a 30-day keto challenge. I recently finished it, and in this video, I want to share with you my results, my experience, how it was for me, also the side effects that I've got, the benefits that I've noticed, and also I will tell you what happened to me, what reaction did I have when after the 30 day I tried to eat some carbs that were not keto friendly. First, I will talk a bit about my reasons why I decided to start the ketogenic diet, because for me weight loss was not such an important thing or some big goal. For me it was more about health reason. I would say I was more looking for feeling better and having more energy and like overall well-being. I have some reaction on carbs, especially on refined carbs. If I eat them a lot or if I eat them regularly, I feel much more tired, and after a meal I can feel very sleepy. I can even take a nap and if there's an opportunity, and it's connected to carb food. I've noticed it for quite some time. That's why I was thinking that keto diet can be a good option for me. And now I can tell you about my results and benefits that I've got from this diet. First, the energy. Yes, the energy really went up quite a lot, not during the first day. That will be a story about side effects. But slowly I start feeling better and better in terms of energy and also in terms of mood. My emotions became calmer. I'm feeling more positive, more stable, and with the energy I can do more things. One of the signs of this was that I started exercising every day. Before I was not doing it, because I really felt that I have this physical energy that I want to use and that I want to move and that I want to do something. Other sign was that even during some nights, if I didn't sleep well or if I didn't sleep enough, the next day I was still feeling quite good. I didn't feel some strong influence on my energy. And the other thing is that I see that now I need less sleep than before I started keto. I can sleep less hours and then still feeling quite good, not tired during the day, don't have a need to take a nap or anything. So that's another great thing that I noticed. In terms of weight loss, yes, I had some, but in my case probably it will not tell you much, because before I started my weight was around 51.5 kilos. Now it's the last time I weighed today was 49.3, so a bit more than 2 kilos I lost in this month. Also the weight was moving quite a lot. In the beginning of keto diet, the first day you usually lose a lot of water, and this can have very quick weight loss, but it's mostly water. But then it's stabilizing, and so after a month it stabilized around 49.3, 14.5, so I can say that's about 2 kilos loss in 1 month. I think, considering my weight, it's a pretty good result. The other change that I enjoy quite a lot is how the hunger kind of disappeared. I'm doing most of the days also intermittent fasting when I don't eat for 16 hours. So I would have my breakfast around 11 and dinner 5 or 6. Sometimes I move them a bit, and most of the day I'm okay with just 2 meals, and with this 8-hour eating window, sometimes 7 hours. No, I'm not following this all days 100%, but most of the days like this, and with time it's getting easier and easier to follow this without feeling any hunger during the day. My cravings also disappearing with time. Yes, sometimes I think about some carb food and I don't know, I want some French fries or maybe something sweet, but it doesn't feel like a real craving. It feels more kind of, oh, I miss these times when I was eating this and this. It would be nice to go to this place and to have this nice thing that I like. So a more psychological thing. And actually I wrote a blog post on my website when I have all the summary of the results, side effects, and also kind of day-by-day journaling, how I was feeling different days, what I was changing, what's going on. So if you want more information, the more specific days, how it was changing, you can click the link below. I will put it in the description and check it. So now let's talk about side effects. first is the first several days when it's a transition to ketosis. It's actually quite a difficult time. For me, it was not too bad. I was reading how other people can have this keto flu and feeling much worse than I was. But I had some of these symptoms. I had fatigue, and I was feeling dizzy. I had muscle weakness, even just by walking, and these kind of simple things. I was feeling this weakness, tiredness, but it didn't last long, a few days. I was adding some electrolytes at this point because, as I was telling, in the first days you're losing a lot of water. So things like sodium, potassium, magnesium, they're quite helpful during this period. Another one that I would say was the worst for me is how thirsty I was feeling no matter how much water I was drinking. And also then it was giving me the feeling of dry mouth, especially at night. It was really bad for the few days, then it slowly was becoming better, but still the thirst was continuing to be with me for quite a long time. I was trying to find a balance between how much I should drink, how much salt I should eat. I was trying to figure out what works for me. So eating more fresh salads, some leafy greens, vegetables was helping. But there is another thing to take in consideration in my situation, because I'm in Italy now and it's very hot. Some days it's almost 40 degrees, so this contributes to thirst and to dehydration. So it's a bit difficult to distinguish what this word, but it was very clear in the beginning how terribly thirsty I was. But it's getting better slowly. Another thing that I had was coming a bit later. I started having some bit of dryness in the eyes, a bit of kind of irritation feeling, and I was researching about it, noticed that some other people have it. It could be also due to dehydration, or another thing that people usually recommend is taking omega-3 or also vitamin A. So those tips were also helpful for me. Several days, a week or so, this also disappeared. So all the side effects that I was having, they, I would say, went away, didn't last very long, or were not too influencing my life too much. Only the first several days, it's very, very weak days. And another one at the beginning was a bit of insomnia. Also didn't last long, several days. And as mentioned, even I had this insomnia, it was difficult to fall asleep, or was waking up a lot, or waking up too early. Still, during the day, I was feeling quite good. I think it was around day 5 or 6 when after I started, when I finally started feeling like really good, when the energy came, when the mood changed, when it just started feeling great. It was feeling really happy, and was kind of first this wave of these positive feelings. Then it was kind of coming and going. There about after 2 weeks, I remember I started having cravings again. I was thinking that I will not do it. I miss the food, and there were some specific foods coming to my mind that I want to eat. Also, then it was going away. So when you already see that this kind of cravings or difficult period, they come and then they go, and they come and then they go in, it's easier to handle them. So there was moments in the middle when I was feeling that I'm losing motivation, but also it was quite easy for me to get it back. If you just don't act straight away from this feeling and don't kind of stop the diet, eating something, several hours or the other day or a few days later, you come into the different feeling, and then you can see how great you're feeling by not eating something tasty that maybe you wanted. And that's one of the conclusions that I see now, that the joy of not eating this carb food is much better than the joy of eating it, because by eating it will just last several minutes, but when I didn't eat, then the next day or so I'm feeling great and I enjoy it. And when this close to the end of the 30 days, it's actually some weird thing happened. I started feeling a bit worse. I started feeling tired again, and I was waiting for 30 days to finish so I can finally eat something. I wanted some fruit and this kind of food. So I was thinking that I will finish with it. I will keep some changes in my diet, but no keto for me anymore. It's too strict, it's too difficult, I can't continue. But what happened on this, after 30 days finished, I I ate a pear. Probably was not the best choice. It was very sweet fruit, and it was after lunchtime. And for dinner, I would eat some vegetables with a bit of potatoes. So this was this high carb food, the pear and potatoes. And it probably kicked me out from ketosis. But what happened? I was feeling quite unwell. I couldn't fall asleep this night till almost 6 a.m. in the morning. I went to sleep around between 11 or 12, I think, not very late. And several hours I spent in the bed and couldn't fall asleep. And I felt all this tension in my body. I was feeling like I'm stressed, all this like kind of nervous feeling. It was really weird. It was actually quite difficult to believe that this happened just because of some sugars and carbs. But while staying in my bed for hours and without being able to fall asleep, I realized that I want to go back to keto because keto was feeling really great for me. And that's how I decided to continue it, to start it again. And this was the moment when I also ordered these ketone test stripes, because before I was doing without stripes, but I was always keeping my macros below 2 grams of net carbs. So I was sure that I'm in ketosis. Also the way I was feeling was kind of telling. And I wanted to see how back I will get back into ketosis. So the interesting thing, the next day after eating these carbs, I did a fat fasting for this day. I had just a bit of food, it was mostly fat, to have this quick transition back to ketosis. And the next day I received my tests as ketone stripes. I checked it and it was quite high. I was back into ketosis. So for me, it's a sign that probably I already became fat adapted in 1 month. I know that it takes different for different people, but the fact that transition was so quick, not only because of the test result, but because of the way I was feeling. My cravings didn't come back. I could stay a long time without food, without hunger, and my energy was coming back also during this day quite quickly. So this day I bought again all the keto-friendly food, all my healthy fats and proteins, and now I continue to eat in this way. For example, yesterday and today I'm also continuing intermittent fasting with 2 meals, and by having this experience and this difference between eating carbs and not eating carbs, now I feel that I want to continue for now. Another kind of insight or understanding that I wanted to share is changing the diet, your habits, removing something from your life that you like, this kind of addiction to sugars or other things. It depends a lot on our mindset. And for me, my experience, my knowledge in life coaching was really, really helpful here. I was relying on what I know about how to keep this motivation, how not to act in the moment when you have these negative emotions or feelings, how to process them healthily, how to kind of stay on track, how to keep some peace inside. Because I decided for me in the beginning that if it will become too difficult, if I will suffer too much without this food, if I will really feel miserable, I will not continue. So for me, the goal was not just to make this 30-day of keto diet. For me, the goal was to do it in the way that I can enjoy and feel good. So there was difficult days and difficult times, but they were not bringing me to this moment that I was feeling miserable or like I can't be without the food. I was self-aware what's going on. I was always checking with myself and physically how I'm feeling, emotionally how I'm feeling. Should I act in line with this emotion or not? Should I wait? So this self-awareness and working with the mindset, I think it's crucial when it comes to dieting and to changing any habit in your life. When you need to sacrifice something that you like, that was giving you joy, but you know that it doesn't serve you anymore. You need to have some strength and probably you need to believe that that's what you need. You need to believe that you can do, and you need to find the way that this will be something that you can enjoy in some way. Maybe not all the day, but clearly you should not be miserable. That's how I see it. It could be different for everyone. It was my experience, my results, what I had in my opinion on this. If you enjoyed the video, put me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to get more information about motivation, personal growth, self-love and other useful tips for self-development.